Hey guys, how's it going? KRIPP'S here. Today I want to give you guys a build guide on the Companion Druid. So Companion Druid in Season 8 will be a good choice for minion build. I do want to be straight up with you guys. I am going to play the Necromancer minion build in Season 8. I don't know which one is going to be better overall as like an absolute peak performer, but I do believe that the Necromancer minion build will be better at just power clearing because it's just faster at dealing with many monsters. The strength of Druid minions is that the single target damage is really, really high and you are very tanky. For Necromancer, you're just a little bit less tanky. You just have about the same, maybe a little bit less single target damage, but your AoE damage and your ability to clear because of Corpse Tendrils and Golem pulling the entire screen effectively, you can just go through content a lot faster. And that's really important because in Season 8, you are able to max out your glyphs on lower pit tiers, so characters that can just power clear like pit 60 or 70 are effectively going to be the best performers in the season, especially in the first week or two. Now, Companion Druid received massive buffs in Season 7. I did play this is content that you're seeing from Season 7. I did play Companion Druid in Season 7 because of this. Basically, Companion Druid was pretty good already. In Season 7, they buffed like everything like crazy, but most importantly, the minion damage was first player damage, and that means that all the stuff that previously didn't work very well for minions now worked. So for example, if you got your wolves to do lightning damage to the Storm's Companion Pants, well, now you can actually get lightning damage or storm skill damage and it will actually work. Before Season 7, none of that worked. So Season 7 was a massive buff to Companion Druid, and I did have actually a really good run playing it. Now, the other thing that really helped companions in Season 7 were kind of like the super gems, the witchcrafting gems, and the powers that came with them. Those are gone. Okay, so that actually was why Companion Druid was the best minion build in Season 7, but I do want to highlight this because I know some of you guys have loved playing minions and haven't actually played Companion Druid yet. Now, Companion Druid, again, might not be quite as good overall as Minion Necro, but it is still going to be very close and it's still going to be very good. So if you've played Minions all this time and you want to play Minion Druid, it's still a great time to do it. Now, there are a few things that have also been buffed for Season 8, and largely it has to do with the passive damage of Poison Creeper and the passive damage of Ravens. Those are pretty good. We also have some changes in the Spirit Boons that make the build overall work a little bit better. One thing that is down from Season 7 is you were able to get 100% crit from nearby enemies through the witchcrafting powers. That is no longer the case, so you actually do have to invest in crit chance on your gear, and you really do want to do that because crit chance is extremely powerful as you have multiple bonuses for critical damage multipliers. If you guys do want to see the full guide at length, make sure to check out the guide on Mobalytics. I will include a link in the description of this video for you to do so. I will try to keep this build updated, as I've actually kept it updated since Season 5, I believe, but nowadays Companion Druids are no longer a meme. So the skill setup is going to be as you saw it in the gameplay. I do prefer using Petrify over Cataclysm just because stunning stuff is just a lot better in my opinion, but you can use Cataclysm if you want to use the Mjolnir ring, or Mjolnir ring, I believe it's called. There are new ways to proc overpower for your minions in Season 8, and I do go over that at length on the Necromancer video, so if you guys want to check out that guide. I just don't know if that bonus is better than this setup. The difference is that the Spirit Wolves that come from the Ke rune, I believe it is. They are actually companions, so they help massively boost your minion count bonuses from the Shepherd's aspect and a few other different things throughout the build. Necromancers don't really benefit from the wolves that much because they are not minions. We have tested this. So while Necromancers also benefit from having lots of different minions on the board and lots of bonuses as a result of having those, well, it's just not the same. But you might want to play around with runes. It might be good to actually trigger force crit overpowers with this build as well. That is something that will need to be tested. If you do want to play this build, it's really important that you get the Storm's Companion to get your wolves to do lightning damage. It also causes them to do a little bit of a small AoE when they attack sometimes, and it's not that much damage, but it's really important because while the single target of this build is extremely high, the area clearing is fairly low. Shroud of False Death is definitely the best in slot chest, but until you get one, it's really important to use the Spirit Bond aspect because it makes your companions invincible. And that is a really big thing because at the start of the game, your companions will take tons of damage and die constantly if you are not using that aspect. So be aware of that. New in Season 8, we get the boss powers, the Urivar's Lobbed Bomb. So all the boss powers were massively nerfed from the PTR. This went from like 5,600% damage with 4 bombs. I think it's now 3 bombs and like a few 100% damage. Basically, they're all terrible now in terms of damage dealing, but that's fine because we had really good damage from the companions anyway. This specific power, after they nerf the crap out of it, it also now has a 15% cooldown reduction passively built into it, so that's why we're using it. We have multiplier vulnerable damage from the Flesh Reaper's Disruption. We have multiplier minion damage from Beastmaster's Training. And we can actually go with either attack speed or crit chance with the last minor boss power, but it's easier to get attack speed than it is to get crit chance, and you really want to get that crit capped, so probably you'll be using Hatred's Embrace as well. Now, one thing that makes progression a little bit tricky on the Wolf Companion Druid is that it's kind of hard to cap your resists early, so just be mindful of that. That's why in the first day I was actually playing a good bit on Torment 3 in the previous season. Once you get your resists near cap, you're pretty much good to go. They buffed Cyclone Armor, but they mostly buffed its passive, so you take less physical damage. They changed some of the Spirit Boons, and it's all like just side buffs, you know, a little bit of good stuff. The skill tree really doesn't change much from the previous season. They did change how some of these things work in terms of damage output. The passive from the Ravens is way higher. The passive from the Poison Creeper is way higher. The Poison Creeper active is also higher, which will help with leveling, but it's not high enough to really focus a build around it. And trust me, I have tried to do that through Poison Duration stacking. It just wasn't really good enough. Be mindful that one with nature will give you the base passive of all the different minions as well, which means you are actually going to have a Poison Creeper passively active even with 0 points in the skill. So just be mindful of that because you really don't need a single point in Poison Creeper. We just have the extra minion because it helps keep up poison uptime for triggers, and because we have we have the Shepherd's aspect multiplying the damage of all our minions based on how many companions that we have. In terms of the Paragon board, nothing has really changed here. It's all pretty much the same as last season. Some of the nodes and some of the bonuses have changed, so you know we are a little bit stronger, but not significantly so from the Paragon side. From the Mercenary side, I actually now went with Rahir as the main mercenary, just because the main thing that's going to stop you from going to Torment 4 early, it's not damage. You're going to have the damage. It's just you're going to have a really hard time capping your resists. So Rahir as your main mercenary is just absolute saving that weakness. and should help you progress a little bit faster than I managed to do so in Season 7. Season 8's coming up. It might already be out, so make sure to check out the guides. If you want to play minions, I got you covered. If you want to play Necro, that's the other build guide. If you want to play Druid, that's this one. And once again, you can check out the builds on Mobalytics in their full written form. Have that on the side so you can do all the Paragon nodes and all the skills. Should make it an effortless experience to try the season. And they got some new stuff, so why not check it out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.